I fall in love with everyone. I'm like a KGB sleeper agent. Biggest surprise, derogatory. I would read her grocery list. Pooping themselves in the theater. Nicolas Cage. I was a fool. I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to talk to my therapist about it. Doing parkour. Literally everyone in Challengers. I never thought that I would cry during a monster movie. I'm a masochist and I hate myself. So, hi guys. Today I'm doing my first ever mid-year book tag, mid-year book freak out tag. I've seen it called a few different things, whatever. This thing, we're doing this thing. A little reminder, this is an all content inclusive channel. So for each of these questions, I'm gonna be giving my movie answer along with my book answer, except for a few questions where movies don't really apply. I'm swiping these questions from Rachel Catherine, who swiped some extra questions from Katie Whitrock. So by the transitive property of equality, I am also swiping said extra questions from Katie Whitrock.
Swiping, no swiping!
Oh, here we go again.
And I'll link both of their videos. And also I'll type out all the questions. I'll put all the questions in the description box in case anyone else wants to do it. So far, I have read 33 books and watched 42 movies this year, which is less than I usually would. But I was sick off my ass for 3 of those months, so I'm not gonna hold it against me. Question 1. Nope, just one. Question 1. Best book you've read so far in 2024. That would be a big toss-up between Dune and This Is How You Lose the Time War. I went into Dune thinking I'd have to slog through it, and instead I love it so much that I'm nervous to read the sequel. And This Is How You Lose the Time War is just one of the most beautiful books I've ever read. I know you know what Dune is about. If you don't know, This Is How You Lose the Time War is about 2 time agents fighting against each other to correct timelines, and they wind up falling in love in different universes at different periods in time and leaving each other love letters in like the bark of a 1,000-year-old tree or the ruins of Atlantis. For movies, I'm only gonna count movies that I've watched for the first time this year. Otherwise, the answer to every question would be Twilight or Rocky Horror Picture Show. So all the movies this year that I've given 5 stars are Dune 2, Mamma Mia, The Thing, Challengers, and Godzilla -1. Egg! That's my water. Come here. Okay, question 2. Best sequel you've read so far in 2024. I haven't read a whole lot of sequels this year. If I had read Dune Messiah already, that probably would have been it. But I have to give it to Down Among the Sticks and Bones, the second book in the Wayward Children series by Shauna Maguire. The portal fantasy, the whimsy, I can't imagine anyone picking up this series and not absolutely falling in love with it. I talk these books up in every video that I can, and today I'm here to do it again. Read these f***ing books. Read these books.
Bitch. Who the f*** you think you talking to?
For movies, Dune 2 is the only sequel that I've watched for the first time this year, but I think it would beat out anything else anyways. For rewatches, it would definitely be Hunger Games: Catching Fire. Question 3, a new release that you haven't read yet but want to. I'm choosing a book for this that I've never talked about on this channel yet, and that is Empire of Shadows by Jacqueline Benson. It came out in April and it only has 500 reviews on Goodreads so far, so maybe I can convince some more of you to read it with me, because I own it already. I don't know what I'm waiting for. The very first line of the synopsis says, "Nice Victorian ladies don't run off to find legendary lost cities." And it says it's for fans of The Mummy. It's giving me a little bit of Tarzan vibes, a little bit of What the River Knows by Isabel Ibanez, with the proper English girl adventuring into the jungle and going on an archaeological escapade with a little romantic side quest. Oh, ow. And I'm like a KGB sleeper agent over here. If you say the words romantic jungle adventure to me, I activate and start doing parkour and smashing shit until I get to read the book. I'm a sleeper agent throwing a temper tantrum. Movies that have come out this year that I still haven't seen, that I don't know what I'm waiting on. I think the most important one for me is Monkey Man with Dev Patel. I missed it in theaters because I've been sick. It's out on Peacock now. I still don't know why I'm waiting. And then the second one is I Am Celine Dion, the Celine Dion documentary about her battle with her fairly new chronic illness, which I'm waiting on because I know I'm gonna sob my eyes out. Question 4. What is your most anticipated release for the rest of the year? I'm gonna cheat and I'm gonna tell you 4 books that I'm excited for. The first is a horror book, The Mask of Flies by Matthew Lyons. It's like It Follows meets The Outsider with a pinch of The Evil Dead. So I need it in my hands immediately, but I have to wait until I think August. The second book is Masquerade by Oo Sangoyomi, which is loosely based on Hades and Persephone. If Hades and Persephone was set in 15th century West Africa. So I am really excited for this one. The third book is called The West Passage by Jared Pikacek. Jared Pikacek, which I can't understand the synopsis of even after reading it 10 times, which just makes me want to read it more. And the fourth book that I'm most excited for is Where the Library Hides by Isabel Ibanez, the sequel to What the River Knows, which is yet another book that's for fans of The Mummy. And I absolutely loved the first book when it came out last year. It's fantasy, archaeology, adventuring in Egypt. It was great. It was so much fun. As for movies, my most anticipated, the most anticipated movies for the second half of the year, I narrowed it down to 3. One of them is Deadpool 3. It's Deadpool and Wolverine. I can't get away from my franchises. I love my Marvel movies. Whatever, I don't want to hear it. Second is Longlegs. If you like horror movies and you haven't heard about Longlegs yet, watch the trailers, but start with like the teaser trailers that don't actually tell you the name of the title. The reviews coming out for this movie say that it was the best horror movie since Silence of the Lambs, which is crazy. I heard that people were pooping themselves in the theater, and I can't wait. I can't wait. I cannot wait. And it's Nicolas Cage as the creepy bad guy, and they're saying that he's as creepy as Buffalo Bill and Hannibal, and like, come on. I think it comes out on what, like July 12th? I've got 2 weeks. Give me Longlegs. Oh my god. Oh, the third movie is Nosferatu. It doesn't come out until December, right? I think December. The trailer just came out like last week and it looks amazing and I'm excited. Biggest surprise of the year. Biggest surprise, smiley face? Biggest happy surprise? Dune. Like I said, I expected to have to slog through it, and instead it just made me more obsessed with the entire Dune universe. And biggest surprise, negative. Biggest surprise, derogatory. Biggest surprise, frowny face, Juniper and Thorn. I so deeply did not click with this book. And I'm fine with gross. I'm okay with gross. But this was just a kind of gross I did not vibe with. And it made me sad because I have 2 more Ava Reid books to read, and now I'm nervous about them. For movies, the best surprises were Mamma Mia, Dream Scenario, and The Thing. Mamma Mia, my sister got me to watch it after literally 15 years of her trying to get me to watch it. Amazing, amazing, a perfect movie musical. Stunning, no notes. Dream Scenario, another Nicolas Cage movie. So good, he acts the hell out of it. I mean, it's A24, so it's not like it was gonna be bad, but it was so good. And then what did I say? Oh my god, The Thing. The Thing is a horror movie from the 80s, and because it's from the 80s, I went into it not... I was a fool. Listen, I was a fool. I did not expect what I got from it. It really showed how important it is to not just use CGI for everything. The fact that they used real effects for this entire thing made it so much better. It would have been probably would have been a shitty movie if everything was CGI'd, and instead it's perfect. It is a perfect movie, and it's gross as shit. It's so gross. If you're squeamish with body horror, don't watch The Thing. If you think you can handle it, watch it, and then talk to me about it. Worst surprise for movies, I said the Marvels just because I didn't really have any other surprises, but that wasn't really a surprise either. It was just sad. Favorite new author, debut or to you? Amal El-Motar, baby. She co-authored This Is How You Lose a Time War, and she has a new book coming out next year, and I will be reading it on the first day that it drops. The very first day. I will be the first in line for that book. Also, S.E. Porter, who wrote Projections. This was her first adult novel, and she writes very purple, very long, thick... That's what she said! ...sentences. Which some people don't like. I do. I loved it. So also, S.E. Porter, hi sweetheart, anything else you put out, I will read immediately. I'll be first in line. Thank you. Next is newest fictional crush. I have not I have not been reading a lot of books with crush-worthy characters. Not a whole lot of fantasy romance, which I think is probably where this question spawns from. However, I did read The Rural Diaries by Hilary Burton Morgan, and she is married to one of my real life crushes, Jeffrey Dean Morgan. So I'm gonna count that. She writes about him. She writes about him, obviously, in her memoir. I think that counts. Otherwise, I would say Red and Blue from This Is How You Lose the Time War, because I would love for someone to write me love letters in the literal sands of time. Movies are a different story. I fall in love with everyone in movies. So if we're talking movies, number one has to be Fade Rotha. I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to talk to my therapist about it. I don't know, but something about Fade Rotha just does it. Also, hold please, also Christine Baranski in Mamma Mia, Kurt Russell in The Thing, Jesse Plemons in Civil War, don't want to talk about it, literally everyone in Challengers, and Thomas Doherty in The Invitation. Next is a book that made you cry. The only book this year so far that has made me cry is This Is How You Lose the Time War. I'm not usually a big crier in books, but this one really got to me. It got to me, it did it. It's just so romantic. Like, it's a sci-fi, but at the end of the day, it's a romance. And good God, it is romantic. Please go read it. If you haven't read it, please just go read it. You're not gonna understand what's going on for at least the first like 25 pages of the book, but after that, but God, oof, just go read it. Oh, I also may have shed a tear or two during a poem or two in Crush by Richard Seiken. For movies, Godzilla -1. I never thought that I would cry during a monster movie, but oh my God, the way they made this movie, it's so good. Your girl was crying. Books that made you happy is the next question. And I know it's weird to put a book about murder and gore and bad people in here for a book that makes you happy. But I read Fantastic Land by Mike Bakoven at just the right time when I needed something crazy and easy and fun. And this book is basically just like Lord of the Flies at an amusement park during a hurricane. And it was fun. And it made me happy. For movies, most movies make me happy. But I got to watch Rocky Horror Picture Show for the first time in a while, which is one of my favorite movies of all time. And I got to watch it with a person who has never seen it before. And my ass was up out of my chair the entire time. This movie formed me. Next is the most beautiful book that you've bought this year or received. And I received for my birthday from my cousin these two really beautiful versions of Alice in Wonderland and The Hunchback of Notre Dame. And the covers, I don't know if you can tell in here, the covers are also soft. They're really soft covers, so I can just sit here and pet them. When I opened the package, I didn't stop petting them for like 10 minutes. And they're so beautiful. No, just sit. The next question is the same for books and movies. It's what do you need to read or watch by the end of the year? And the answer is so many, so many. I made a video that was my lists of 69 books and movies I need to read and watch by the end of 2024, which again, I'll link it if you didn't see it and you want to go watch that. And I'm only like 25% of the way through the book list and we're 50% through the year. So I need to figure out some things. I have some shit to figure out. And it's the same for movies, except worse. That list, it's a list with a lot of good movies on it. And I've been watching a lot of really mid movies, which I love, but it's not fulfilling my list. So I have a lot of work to do. We'll get there. These are the extra questions from Katie Whitrook. What books do you want to reread this year? Now, I'm not a big rereader. My TBR is way too long for me to do a lot of rereading, but I do always wind up casually, slowly rereading my favorite book of all time at some point throughout the year, and that is... I'll talk about that more in some other video. I'll do a video with like all my favorite books. For now, spoiler alert, my favorite book of all time is... For movies, I want to watch more than rewatch for the remainder of the year, but there are a few that I definitely want to rewatch soon, and that would be About Time, Rent, Imagine Me and You, The Killing of a Sacred Deer, Midnight in Paris, The Secret Life of Walter Mitty, Red Eye, A Series of Unfortunate Events, and Crimson Peak. Favorite author so far this year? Hands down, Shauna Maguire. I said it in a previous video, I would hire her to live in my house and tell me bedtime stories every night. If I could do that, I would. This is one of those I would read her grocery list type of things. So, Shauna Maguire. Next question is books and movies you've been putting off. Obviously a lot, as you could tell by my things I need to watch by the end of the year question. But for books, the series I've been putting off the most is Throne of Glass, although maybe not for long, wink wink. And for movies, like, okay, you guys know the drill by now. It's like After Sun, Pride and Prejudice, Oppenheimer, Past Lives, Poor Things, what else? The Matrix, Minari, All of Us Strangers, Portrait of a Lady on Fire. It's the same ones I've been talking about this entire time. But I'm okay with it right now. I'm okay. I did not want to watch any. Ow, 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 ow. Okay. I didn't want to watch any of those while I was sick because I don't remember anything that happened while I was sick. So that's fine. That's fine. We're gonna get to them. It's okay. Books and movies you've enjoyed that have mixed reviews. I guess I could count Dune here. I know that some people don't mesh with it so well. The only other book that I could actually remember a negative review from is The Rural Diaries, because some dumbass commented saying, she's not relatable. Like, why do you pick up a celebrity memoir to find something relatable? And I enjoy so many movies that have mixed reviews. I love mid movies, and that definitely hasn't changed this year. So, mid movies that I've watched this year and loved: Malignant, Elysium, Buried, The Idea of You, The First Omen, and Under Paris, because we finally got a new mid smiley face shark movie that isn't The Meg. Although I love, don't get me wrong, I love The Meg, but we got a new one. A new one about sharks invading Paris. Next question is series you want to finish before the end of the year. The 3 series that are on my list of 69 books to read before the end of the year are the Arc of a Scythe series, Throne of Glass, and Strange the Dreamer. So that's about 8,000 pages worth of series right there that I have to finish. And then there's 5-star predictions for the rest of the year. I made a little list. My 5-star predictions for the rest of the year: at least one of the Throne of Glass books, Where the Library Hides, maybe Alone with You in the Ether, Dune Messiah, Into the Drowning Deep, Memory Police, Monstrilio, Song of Achilles, A Cook's Tour, hopefully The Wager, and hopefully whatever Niall Williams book I wind up reading. As for movies, it's the exact same list as what I said for movies I've been putting off. I put off the movies that I think I'll love because I'm a masochist and I hate myself. So 5-star predictions for movies are After Sun, Pride and Prejudice, Oppenheimer, Past Lives, Poor Things, The Matrix, Minari, All of Us Strangers, Portrait of a Lady on Fire. Do you think you'll reach your reading goal, and are you going to change it? I always set my reading goal lower than I know I can do so that I always beat it. I'm gonna win no matter what. I'm too competitive to actually set a high goal for myself, because then I would be racing through things and I wouldn't be enjoying it and blah, blah, blah. So I just set it up so that I always win. The last question is, any new goals for the rest of the year? For books, it's definitely to continue to diversify my reading and also honing in and figuring out what micro details I love in books so that I could find everything else with those micro details. Like if I know I love time travel, maybe I can find a romance book with time travel that I love, blah, blah, blah. And I also want to find some new favorites of all time. That is a big thing. That's a big thing. As for movies, it's to watch more movies in theaters. I was supposed to start doing that this past quarter, and obviously with me being as sick as I wasn't going to movie theaters, wasn't even watching movies, so I definitely wasn't going to theaters. So now that we're a lot better than we were back then, it's time to get my ass back into those movie theaters. How am I supposed to end this video? What am I supposed to say? That was it? All right, well that was my mid-year book tag, mid-year freak out books, mid-year freak out book and movie tag. That's what that was. Thanks for being here. Let me know what your favorite movies have been. Okay, either one. Let me know what your favorite books and movies have been that you've watched in the first half of the year. Because I Listen, I have an ever expanding TBR and TBW, but I always want to add more. I always want to add more onto them. So let me know what your favorite things have been for the first half of this year so I can add more really great shit to my lists. Thanks. So that's all. That's it. Thank you for being here. Time to go film the intro to a special reading vlog that you are not going to see until October, but we're filming the intro right now. Little hint. Okay, if you can see me, if you can hear me, what am I saying? What do I say? If you can hear me, if you can read the subtitles, I love you so much. Thank you so much for being here, and I hope I see you very soon. Bye. Which made me sad because I have 2 more Ava book reads. Nope. I have 2 more because I have 2. That's how you lose a time warp. Egg. If you haven't read it, if you haven't read it, to read and watch by the end of the year. Stop it! Stop! That's my water.